Welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. So I've got a bowl here full of hamburger meat. So I'm just seasoning with just various seasonings. You can season with whatever you want, but my favorite is Kinder's. So I kind of just pull out whatever I want to and I just kind of season that way. We're making burgers, by the way. And then I use my barbecue sauce to kind of use as a binder, and then I will use my meat chopper to kind of incorporate the seasonings, and then eventually I will get in there with my hands and incorporate it all together. And then I'm just going to split it up the best that I can into equal portions, and we're gonna make 8 patties. I am not the best at making hamburger patties, so I have this little patty maker from Cuisinart, and I use it all the time. I've had it for a few years now, and it's like one of my favorite kitchen tools. So definitely, if you don't have one, get yourself one because it definitely helps, and it gets everything even, the same size, and I just love it. So with our meal, we're going to have some broccoli and some French fries. So I'm just putting some broccoli in a pan on the stove. I usually season with salt and pepper, and then sometimes I throw some butter in, and then I'm going to get some French fries in the air fryer. Sad story, but my air fryer broke this last week, and so I'm going to have to get a new one, and I am not very happy about it, but it is what it is. I've had it for a while, so I'm due for a new one anyways. We're going to move over to my skillet. I get some questions about this skillet, and I actually got it on Black Friday. It's a Pioneer woman skillet, and I absolutely love it. I probably use it every single day, so if they have it again this year, I'm definitely going to get 1 or 2 because I love it so much. But anyway, I'm just going to put my patties into this pan. I'm going to brown them on both sides, and then I will put some water in the pan and throw the lid on really quick and let it just steam through to finish cooking. I'm going to use my meat thermometer here to make sure that the patties are up to temperature to 155, and then I will remove them and put them on a plate and then throw my second batch in. Here is our plates. We served this with the broccoli, some ketchup, and some French fries. And this meal was delicious. My husband loves burger night, so I always try to make it for him when he requests it. Next, we are making lasagna. Again, this is another thing that my husband requested. So I've got just a pound of hamburger here. I'm going to season it. And then to make my filling, I do use cottage cheese. I do not like ricotta for whatever reason. So I always just use cottage cheese, and then I'm going to throw some grated Parmesan cheese in and a couple eggs and just mix that all together. And then I'm actually going to throw this in the fridge. I made this during my lunch break, just to kind of get ahead of the game. And, I will finish it whenever, I get back home with the baby and stuff, but I don't, measure anything when I make lasagna. It never turns out the same every time. I probably should measure, but I feel like it's just one of those things you got to measure with your heart. So that's what I do when I make my lasagna. So I'm going to finish up the hamburger over here, just making sure that it is browned. And then I'm going to add it to my crock pot with my marinara sauce. I forgot to lay out the marinara the night before, so it was still frozen in the morning. So I just let it thaw so I could put it in the crock pot. And then it just cooked for a little bit in the crock pot. And then I just let it stay warm all day until I was ready to assemble my lasagna. I'm going to go ahead and assemble. So I've got some sauce, some noodles. I'm going to do half of the cottage cheese mixture, and then I'm going to do the same thing, sauce, noodles, cottage cheese, and then top it with some more noodles and my sauce. And then I'm going to put foil on the top of this. I don't put cheese on it until the very end because I don't want my cheese to be burned or stuck to the top. So I always just wait till the end. And the key to cooking lasagna in the oven without boiling your noodles is to make sure that they are covered with the sauce, and it does not matter. They will turn out perfect every single time. So I cook it at 400 for 45 minutes, and then I'm going to take the foil off add some mozzarella cheese, and then I'm going to throw it back in for 10 to 15 minutes. And you want to let it rest for a good 15-20 minutes before you try and cut into it, or it's just going to fall apart. So yeah, this is one of our favorite meals, and my husband loves lasagna. It used to be something that I was very intimidated to make, but I don't have any problem making it now. To go with it, I'm also making some broccoli. So I've got broccoli in a pan here. I'm going to season with some salt and just throw it on the stove. And then I've also got some garlic bread that I'm using in my air fryer. This is my favorite way to make garlic bread, but again, I don't have an air fryer anymore, so I'm gonna have to get a new one. I just hate waiting for the oven to heat up, and I feel like the air fryer is just so much faster. But anyways, here's what the lasagna looked like when it all came out. Absolutely delicious. This last meal has quickly become a family favorite, so we are making KFC bowls. I've got some potatoes here. I'm just peeling. I'm going to wash them and then chop them, and then we will cook them in the Instant Pot. So now that everything is chopped up, I'm going to season with some salt. And then this is optional, but I do like to cook mine in chicken broth. You could just use water if that's what you wanted to, but it's a cup of water. Just throw it in, and then you're going to cook it on high pressure in your Instant Pot for 12 minutes. After the 12 minutes are up, you're going to do a quick release, and then you're able to mash it up and fix it however you want. I usually just do butter and milk, and then I taste for salt if we need more. I have some chicken breast here. I'm going to just chop those up into bite-sized pieces. And then I had some leftover shake and bake in the pantry that I wanted to use up, so I'm going to use that as well. But I'm just going to season my chicken with some olive oil and some seasoning salt. That was the complaint that I had for my husband last time I made shake and bake. The meat was not seasoned, and so he complained that it wasn't very flavorful. So this time I make shake and bake, I made sure to season, and seasoning salt is probably the easiest seasoning that you can use, especially when you're making chicken or really any cut of meat. After I have shaken the chicken, I actually end up doing this in batches, so I'm going to cook this in my air fryer. I think I did 370 for about 10 minutes, and I just used my meat thermometer to make sure that everything was cooking to temp. 165 is what you want chicken to be at, so I just did these in a single layer. I think I ended up having to do like 3 batches, but this shake and bake is so good. I've made it one other time since then, and it's just, I forgot about it, honestly. I don't know what reminded me of it, but it's definitely something that I forgot about, so I've been using it a lot more recently. That is going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe. Other than that, I will see you in my next one. Bye.